It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you'd put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Welcome back to the NBA the resupply with me, guy next door.
Me, DK, that stands for Dogecoin. I'm rich, bitch.
And me, fan. I have no witty cryptocurrency joke here. I think I'm too old for crypto or some bullshit.
Damn
We'll go with
fake
that.
currencies. Look, we're here to bring you your weekly double tap of all things Space Marines and Laser Force. Thank you very much, Ethan, for spamming chat with all of those links. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
I guess those are all our things that we announce on a regular basis.
Oh man,
so.
I'm glad I haven't told you about the million other ones that I added this week, but you'll get them. Hey boys, what's going on? How are you?
Doing okay. I survived the great earthquake of last night. We had an earthquake here. Yay.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
It was like a nothing earthquake. Like initially, like I heard my phone buzz for something, and I was like, I just figured it was like my folks telling me they got back from Utah because they were there for a few days. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll check that in a few minutes. And then Erica and I were sitting around and just kind of feel this like, and I was like, wait, what was that? And she's like, that wasn't me, right? You felt that? That was
Did
weird.
you fart?
Like, yeah, I think that was the earthquake. I think it was the earthquake. So I checked my phone and it says, oh yeah, expect shaking, magnitude 6.0 earthquake near Truckee. It was since downgraded. They're like, no, actually it was only a 4.7. I'm like, that's nothing. Don't even give me a message about anything that's less than a 5.
There is a marked difference between a 4.7 and a 6. Like,
Yeah.
how do
Oh
you
my-
how do you
come
get
on,
it
Google.
that wrong?
Well,
Google.
the facial experience expressions tend to change between magnitudes. They go from was that a fart to that was definitely not a fart. That was a shit. But yeah. Ooh, what's going on? That's so strange. The boys have frozen. Are we still live? Can people still hear me? We are live. That's so weird. So on my screen, the boys have like straight frozen. And I don't know what to do. Let me close this. Bear with me, folks. So you should still be able to hear me. Goodness me.
The fuck?
That's so random, man. Hang on. Let me get me back. There we go.
In the actual fuck.
That's a first. That's a catastrophic failure. That one. That's right up there at a 7.8 in terms of issues that we've had on this podcast.
What a great freeze frame for me.
Yeah.
Looking asshole.
I mean, you are a smarmy looking asshole like 90% of the time, so that fits. It's fine.
So I think for the remainder of this show, maybe we all do spirit fingers so that if we freeze, at least we'll know that like that you're frozen. Because like
No, I'm gonna do shifty eyes instead.
I didn't register for me at first because I was like, the guys are real smiley. They didn't react to the thing that I said. Are we good? I'm not that funny, but like, you know, maybe we're having issues. The best part of that was Steve said facial expressions and boom, frozen.
That was
Yeah.
the magic word.
I'm all over the show now. Stupid issues. I'm at a loss. I don't know what caused that. That was so strange.
Shit, we got Twitch clipped.
Fingers
Oh,
crossed.
shit.
Fingers crossed it doesn't
Oh
happen
no,
again.
we did a meme.
But yeah.
Is this a meme?
So yeah, earthquake. You were saying. That's
Yeah, so whatever. It turned out to be like a nothing earthquake. I was like, don't give me Google alert for that. Come on, Google. Couldn't even get your magnitudes right. Terrible.
Well, and I mean, and that's what I said. It's like a 6. I mean, a 6 is starting to kind of edge into.
That can knock some shit off your shelves.
Yeah,
if
knock
you're
some
close enough.
Yeah, that can cause some issues, and if you're somewhere not in California where the stuff isn't, you know, where the buildings aren't built for it, maybe you might have some minor structural damage somewhere. Whatever.
at a 6.
A 4.7. Don't even fucking bother me.
Yeah. Well, it depends on depth as well, right? Like, if it's quite shallow, like even a 4 point whatever will shake some shit. That'll knock some stuff
could.
off your shelves. It's a very real threat for me because I have many shelves with many tiny breakable things on them.
Yeah,
This is true.
Dan's
Yeah.
like, oh, ooh, a 4 point something. I'm like, not any earthquake ever. Like,
Steve's like duct taping all his like shit to his shelves. It's like, don't say earthquake.
Dan's like, I want to skate inside the house. I'm like, but all my things on shelves will fall.
Jeez, Grandpa. Don't be such a buzzkill.
All my-
skate in the house.
All my knickknacks. What about my knickknacks? Somebody think of the knickknacks.
What about your paddywhacks?
I keep those in a drawer, so that's safe.
Good place for
Blimey.
them.
So they're not. I haven't seen their names pop up, but I wanted to give a very special couple of birthday shout outs for this week. First of all, Morrigan, happy birthday to you. It is your birthday today in New Zealand. So maybe at some point, if you see this, it'll be your actual birthday. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Shawnee, the big 3-0 earlier this week. So happy birthday to you. I'm sorry if actually that's not supposed to be something you say in public. fuck it.
She said on the Discord that counts as public.
That's
I'm
true.
pretty sure.
That's true.
So I don't think you can really be mad at that point.
Um,
If you put it on social media, whether it's Discord, Reddit, Facebook, I don't care. Yeah, it's not private information.
It's public
anymore.
domain, is what it is.
Yeah.
If Shawnee is
Zuckerberg
30,
owns it now.
fuck Dan is old. All right.
When you're
all
right, you're right, Al.
Al, eat all the fucking dicks.
That's a
Eat
big
all of
old
them.
kettle and
Big
pot
old
conversation.
Big old kettle of dicks for you, Al.
Big
because
old
Yeah,
you're
next
older
thing he'll
than
be
I
calling
am,
Than
so-
bald, too.
Yeah. He's like, Than, you love Laser Force so much. Yeah, so happy birthday to you guys. Hope you had outstanding days. What are the other things I want to quickly touch on? Oh, yeah. I can't remember if I put a shortcut in it. Let's test that. If I had... No, I haven't. I definitely haven't. I will set up that shortly. If you'll notice in our channel bio, I got some requests during the week during my my Lego build on Wednesday, which was outstanding, by the way. If you haven't seen it, VOD's still up. Voltron Lego build is awesome. I built myself a lion this week. Check it out. There he is. Pretty
Nice.
cool.
It's pretty cool, but I couldn't help but notice it's not a Gen 8 phaser like was promised for the Lego builds. So
All right. Well, so interesting. You should bring that up. We were streaming. I won't go too much into it. We were streaming, and there was a guy who came into chat, and turns out he was like a legit Lego creator. Like has created and had some of his Lego ideas picked up by the Lego company and put into production. And was also a creative developer something on the Lego Batman movie. Anyway, so he came in the chat and was hanging out towards the end of the stream, which was kind of cool.
or you got catfished, one of the two.
One of the two. He did send me some credentials, and it looks legit, but could be a really obscure but legitimate catfish.
Could be. You never know.
Could be.
Don't send him your Dogecoin.
He's like, I'll build you a Gen 8 Laser Force phaser, because I know what that is. Just send me all the Dogecoin you can. But yeah,
It's a trap.
I did put it out to see if he would be interested in doing that, but I'm yet to hear back. We'll see how that goes. Why the fuck did I... Oh, yeah, so anyway, the reason I bring it up, if you head to our bio on Twitch, I was getting some requests to put a merch store up, because Streamlabs has the ability to have like an inbuilt merch store full of all sorts of crap you don't need, but you might as well buy because it's got our logo on it. There we go.
Yes.
Thank
This
you very
merch
much.
has been thoroughly endorsed by all 3 members of the Resupply who love each and every one of these products. As we learned in our pre-show meeting.
I brought it up. Yeah, I brought it up like 15 minutes before we meant to start. And DK's first stuff was, well, $14 for a coffee mug.
It's like it's $17 for a mug. I was like, $17 for a mug, the thing better split the atom and give me a happy ending.
Look, I'm not saying it's quality. I'm not saying it's affordable, but it's definitely got our logo on it. I bought one of our good friend Blueson's coffee mug right here. It's the biggest coffee mug I've ever seen. Well, not ever seen. That's probably an exaggeration, but it's pretty big, and I love
That's
it.
what she said.
She did say that. So yeah, if you want some garbage with our logo on it, head over to our merch store and feel free to shop to your heart's content. Cheers.
Is that why the mug is expensive? Is it like a giant mug, like fucking Ajit Pie's giant Reese's peanut butter cups mug?
Man, fuck that guy.
God, I really wanted to just take that and just smash him in the face with it.
The resupply.
You and
Can't say it.
so many other people.
Oh, it looks like Ducky has an agreement with Than. Uh-oh.
Why?
We're just here to start some drama.
That was the other thing. It took me fucking ages to make that backpack, which didn't come in any other colorways except for white. And I was like, I want it all over print.
See? That's all you had to explain. It didn't come in any other colors.
Sam was like, "That's fucking." What were your exact words? I can't remember because I've tuned them out now.
Something about like that's fucking terrible.
Yeah. So like,
I feel like the word hideous was thrown in there at some point.
Hideous, terrible. It was something. I mean, it's I don't know. Steve-O, I love you, and generally you have really good design ideas. I just don't think that was one of your better ones.
incorrect.
The design might be fine, but if it's an ugly color, and Steve couldn't help that. So you know what? We're gonna chalk that one up to
Incorrect. You're all wrong, but thank you for playing. Appreciate it. And I do like the idea of the resupply. Can't say that it's quality. Can't say it's affordable. And putting that on a shirt. That might have to be.
That's actually fucking hilarious.
that's a shirt I would buy.
That is actually a shirt I would buy. So Gray,
Done.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
We are stealing that, and you are getting Spotify. Fuck. It's much better if I can get through the joke and not stutter through it.
That was Tourette's Than, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna design that on a shirt. Just put fuck. That's okay then. I'm still here waiting for you to finish.
Unfortunately, that's what she said. God damn it.
Yeah.
No, something about Spotify royalties, which you're gonna get the Spotify royalty off of the sales, so you'll get like 0.3% per stream.
Keep an eye out.
Also can make 3s of cents on this.
Keep an eye out this week.
0.3 cents per. Yeah.
I will
10%
endeavor to create that and put that on a shirt. Hang on, let me just make a quick mental note. By mental note, I mean not mental. There was so if you want to buy some shit, feel free to. You don't have to. I am probably going to buy one of those awesome bags because they are awesome. Probably one of the best bags I've ever seen. Just putting it out there.
This is what we call overcompensation, ladies and gentlemen.
So then there was one other final shout out that I wanted to do, a very special mention. Now, I have been a big fan of this band for the better part of, I want to say, coming on 2 decades. Our boys from the band These Four Walls, great Australian band. They were nominated for a Queensland Music Award, and for best heavy song, best metal song,
Best heavy song.
heavy song.
For White Lies.
For White Lies, and they ended up winning, which
Yay.
warmed the cockles of my soul to no end. So massive congrats to you, Truly Awful Gaming in chat, and to your brethren for the great work that you did on that album. Me and Tham were talking about it on your stream, I think, during the week, that there's really no weak part of that album. The album is fantastic. So,
Correct.
Why is everything heavy in the future? Is there a problem with this gravity?
That's a good pull right there, Stallion.
Ooh, gravitational pull. Yeah, so well done, boys. The award was well deserved. I watched the award speech that you mentioned that Gibbo did, and he killed it. He fucking killed it. It was wicked. But yeah, well done, boys.
Nice.
Very proud. Very proud.
Super nice.
How was the week, gentlemen? Aside from earthquakes.
Well,
No, I didn't miss it, Stallion. That's why I said it was a good call out. But I wasn't gonna do the homework of everybody.
Jokes are way better when you explain them, though.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
always that's always the best when you're explaining your jokes.
You know, your father went here too. He was also a slacker.
Good thing the camera cut out before you tripped over the fallback monitor. That is disappointing. It's nothing quite like riding that award-winning high and then immediately being humbled by poorly placed stage props or equipment. Yeah.
I mean, was it horribly placed, or was Gray just clumsy?
Yes. I've seen him fall over in previous performances, or almost fall over, and it's always a laugh riot.
Well, as a very coordinated person myself, I would never stoop to making fun of somebody.
Yeah, I mean, out of the three of us, two of us have had falls on camera. So watch your back, old man Than. Next time we're at nationals, I'll be following you with a camera and a stick. How
Just take out his bad knee. It's easy to knock him over.
No. Low center.
Sweep the leg.
Low center
Do you have a
gravity.
problem with that?
Way to plant, Anne. How was the week, Than? How are you doing, my friend?
Yes. As we start the story time with Than segment. Yeah. So this has it's been a week. I know, because time is linear, and it's been a week. So, look, we've lost DK.
DK doesn't know.
DK does not want to hear. DK does not want to hear.
Legit did not realize the dog was still in here and had to be let out. She was like right behind my chair. So, and then I just heard this little roof. I was like, what the fuck?
And you're like, oh shit, I should probably let her out. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So Saturday was, take Julie to the airport day. That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It just kind of did. And Tuesday, I found out that basically my divorce was officially final, because the judge had signed off on the paperwork actually on Monday, but it was like late Monday when they signed it off, so my lawyer didn't find out until Tuesday. So I found out Tuesday that I am officially / legally single for the first time in a very long time.
In a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, the anniversary milestone that we hit in January, that there was no celebration on social media for obvious reasons, was in 15 years.
Wow.
So yeah. Heathen Acid chat, do you not need to wait two years in America? America varies by state.
Yeah.
Texas is 60 days. So
Which, if I recall, it used to be like way more onerous in Texas. It used to be like 6 months, but then probably all the Californians started moving there. They're like, we need faster divorces.
It's high up on our priority list.
Yeah, so no, Texas is 60 days. I actually filed a little bit later than the 60, basically so that Julie would still be on my health insurance while she was traveling, because.
Yeah.
Probably a good call.
Yeah, I mean, now she's back in Australia. She's Australian citizen in Australia. She's good. She's covered. So.
Bloody communists.
With your free public health care.
Yeah. So that's so that happened. Of course, like my timing on that was, I was in the middle of a team meeting call, and I got a text from my lawyer saying, "Hey, okay, this is official. When can we have a call so we can kind of finalize the last of the paperwork stuff, as far as refunding retainer money to me," because shockingly, when you do a relatively uncontested divorce and you're not fighting back and forth with the person you're getting divorced from, shockingly you can do that for not a ton of money. I mean, it was still about $1,500 worth of legal fees. But
lawyers hate him. Learn his one weird trick by clicking this link.
Wait, so that means that it's in a lawyer's best interest to like cause friction during a divorce proceedings? Is that
Shh, Steve, you're outing their best secrets. Stop.
they're gonna come after
They'll come
us?
for you.
Yeah, shit.
I mean,
Fucking-
there's that whole code of ethics thing that they're supposed to follow and all that.
Lawyers are
We'll
very
get
ethical.
Tandor to cover that in his next Q&A on this podcast.
Steve just figured out the lawyers are scum. Wait, they're not on my
Well,
side?
it's been quite the week of revelations for you there, Steve.
Yeah, it really is.
Don't tell the internet.
Anyway, so yeah, so I mean, so when this process started, like I had to throw down like a $3,000 retainer. Like here's $3,000. Do stuff, and I'm gonna get about half of that back because
That's all right.
yeah, but I mean it should still give some sort of scope for even doing this when you're cordial and and there is basically no friction. It's still going to cost you about $1,500 because lawyers book their time. I mean, mine is like $325 an hour. The assistants are like $150 an hour. It's
So
It's got to go through the courts. Nothing is painless anytime you get the law involved. So,
another potential revelation. Is it is it potentially cheaper to get divorced than to get an ambulance in America?
Yes.
yes.
What the fuck?
Like, I would say that's probably universally the case.
Yeah, especially if you don't have insurance. If you don't have insurance,
I mean, unless you're like Jeff Bezos and you don't have a prenup, then it's like, okay, then the divorce is like slightly more expensive than an ambulance, but only
just.
Only
I'm
just.
not sure I should ever travel back to Detroit just quietly. But that's for a non-public forum.
yeah,
Screwing
so-
Steve on the
Oh my God.
ambulance rides, screwing me on the rental cars. It's a bad time.
So much character building is happening live on camera.
pretty much. So that all happened, and so went from the text like, hey, can you call me? I'm like in the middle of a team meeting. It's like, well, no, because I immediately have a therapy appointment after the team meeting to the timing. So I'll call you after my therapy appointment. As you can imagine, I may have broken down once or twice during the therapy appointment. It's
A little bit of processing had to happen there.
Because grief is weird. Grief strikes at weird times, and there's definitely the mourning of the thing because now it's officially official. And what Gray says in chat, kind of what the therapy session is for, though. Oh yeah, no, I mean, from a timing perspective, like that session being the Tuesday after she left was ideal. It just was. And so it's been a weird week in that, like, prior to all of this, like, or if you go the entirety of the time that Jill and I had been living together, which was basically since September of 2004. If you go that entire string, the longest amount of time that we'd ever not been in the same place. Damn dog.
Was that your janky knee?
Yep.
The longest time that we'd ever been apart in that was like 16 days, and that was after we'd moved to Texas. She went to Australia for a couple of weeks just to see her family because there were some other reasons with that. Okay, fine. So I'm kind of having this processing now of, okay. So I'm kind of waiting for like the 2 to 3 week mark when it finally settles in, like, oh right, this is your life, and we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes. But in things that were actually good and exciting this week.
We like good and exciting.
We do like good and exciting. I got to do the new homeowner orientation for my new house yesterday.
Dope.
Cool.
Um,
Good deal.
and so and I had it third party inspected because it seemed spending $325 to make sure there's no real fuck ups in the build process
Usually a
seems
good call.
seems like a really solid idea. If you're dropping over $250,000 on something, spending 325 seems like a good idea to make sure.
I mean, we'd already lived in the place for 4 years before we bought it, but we'd still got the home inspection because it just seems like probably a good thing to do.
Yeah. And Heathen Nuts in chat, they have orientation. For new house, new builds. So this is a new build. Only 250 to New Zealand. No, I know what your housing market is like. No, I know it's ridiculous. I know how much both the house I'm in now and what my new house would be in New Zealand, and no, we're not doing that.
It's just dawned on me. Perhaps I should have spent less money at the dump shop, and concentrate a little more on my savings. Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe just move to Texas.
Can't be getting those coffees out of the house. That's why millennials can't buy houses.
That's right. Fucking, I will not give up my avocado on toast.
No. Avo on toast is fucking amazing. So, yes, you must keep that for sure.
If you find GD, NBA Top Shot will fund you. That's what I'm hoping. To either that or some Doge. We're gonna find some sneaky Doge somewhere. Spin it on Lego.
So that was actually really cool yesterday to, walk the house, see that everything that my inspector had found, which was just a bunch of little stuff, had been taken care of. So that's
I'd imagine
pretty exciting.
Like, so most of the major things that are happening in your life at the moment are the ending of things, and so this is the first like major thing that's this is a new beginning, right? Like, it's fresh, it's new, it's something that's about to happen, not something that's been happening, it's about to end. So that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, this is kind of the as I've been working through stuff, therapy wise, and with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, like, hey, yes, we're gonna keep pushing that, hey, therapy is good thing that we've been pushing for the last 6 months, and this is it's that whole. It's a new book. I'm not even gonna go. It's a new chapter. Like, this is an entirely new book at this point. Like, we're in kind of the coda epilogue right now of the existing book because of this house. Like, the house that I'm still in we're in the epilogue, and in just over 2 weeks we get to start the new book. So
scary and exciting.
It's definitely both.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be okay with the fact that I'm excited about something, because there's that
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, there's that whole thing of like, shouldn't I be feeling sadder about something and all this? It's like, well, grief it's not performative. It hits you when it hits you, and the fact that I feel like I'm on a relatively even keel at the moment is kind of nice.
It's super positive, man.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to go with it as far as that goes. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I I will say the show in 2 weeks on the 21st. Either I'm missing that show, or there's a greater than zero possibility I'm doing that show from my phone, because I don't know if I'm going to have internet at my new house by then. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's a really small dog. Just quietly.
Yes. It's just far in the background.
Well, your cushion just got up and moved.
Yeah, it does that, you know.
I think the acid's kicking in.
Cushions get bored sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't take the brown acid.
And your cushion was like, yeah, that bag sucks, and then got up and left. That's it. It sounds. It sounds like varying degrees of new wins, in the sense that at sometimes it's gale force and shit, and other times it's lightly caressing your cheek. So yeah, it sounds wholly positive. Not always happy, but certainly positive.
Yeah, things are moving in the right direction, and the reality is that they're moving in the right direction for both of us. My life is a little smoother at the moment because I'm not having to deal with being quarantined in Sydney.
Yeah.
But
Her new digs look pretty good though.
Yeah, no, it's like she definitely lucked out with the hotel.
Yeah.
Resupply episode 107, Than's new house tour in the style of Blair Witch Project.
Creepy.
You know?
Hard pass.
We'll see.
Narrated by Iron Jesus.
It's just like fans standing in the corner for 90 minutes.
Hate it. I hate it so much. Yeah, did you have any more that you wanted to share on that?
No, I think that's a good place for that right now. I feel like, like I said, I feel like I'm in a relatively good place. Feel like things are kind of meshing, starting to mesh in the way that they need to. I know that there's going to be some weird shit that comes up. Like, DK having to hold. DK had the pupper. This is
happening, right? This is not just me. That everyone else can see this.
Yeah.
Yep. In case you wanted to know who really runs the house when we have her.
You know when they say that like pets look a lot like their owners.
Yeah, everybody loves the mohawk.
You should give the dog back, but dye it green. That'd be awesome. Don't do that. Yeah. That'll get you, some PETA attention or something. Don't dye the dog green.
Probably. It'd be great when her mother picks her up tomorrow. It'd be like, by the way, we dyed your dog's hair.
Oh, your dog got into all of my green hair dye. Wasn't
the damnedest thing.
Wasn't my fault. I can't be blamed, except that I did say that I'd watch your dog. Don't know about that pet. Can't see the shoulder. The dog's mohawk look like Hoodlum's hair. Yeah, kinda. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, have you got anything you want to share, DK? What's been going on in your world aside from? You
just saw it.
Yeah,
that has been most of the week. When you're dog sitting for the week, you know who's in charge.
Has it got you wanting a pet?
No. Yeah, like I said before the show, much like with children, prefer to be an uncle, not the father.
Yeah, smart. I'm gonna give this back to you now. I'm done with this one.
Yep.
I owned a cat briefly. When my family moved to Australia because they all fucked off. They left me with the cat. And yeah, I'm not qualified to look after anything.
You're barely qualified to look after yourself.
Yeah, that's accurate. That is very accurate. Right on. Well, look, let's take a left turn and talk about some other Laser Force related stuff. Cat, what is this? Some kind of crypto? Yeah, it's not worth as much though. We played Laser Force this week. We got to play Laser Force live. What a perfectly contrasting set of emotions that just happened. It was
Double.
Have you met us? That's kind of what we do.
the angel's like yay, and the devil like just kicked me in the earlobe. But we got to play, and boy was it fun. It's the first time we played for a I gamble cat. It's the first time we played for a number of weeks, and I do say this knowing that we are very fortunate that it's not months / years between drinks for us. So yeah, I get it, but we haven't played for a few weeks, which, you know, for a community that has an active site and a relatively active member base, playing every like 6 weeks is not really like great.
It's not ideal.
Yeah,
Not ideal.
but
Pretty fucking average, bro.
it's pretty average. You play every week, twice a week. That's good. Support your local laser tag center, kids. We had a social night. We played a bunch of social games because I think we had 8 or 9 people max. Newer players came to play. Yeah. Jealousy does not look good on you, hoodlum.
Or does it?
Yeah, and we played a bunch of social games. So a lot of individuals. We did cater to one particular resupply regular in Smalley McSmall. We played a game of Wabbit Season.
Why though?
So it dawned on me I maybe had only played I'd only played like 1, maybe 2 games of Wabbit Season ever. And we had a new player, and some of our newer guys hadn't played it before, so I was like, you know what, let's get this out of the way, we'll play it. Wasn't as bad as the first of the only other game I remember playing. Still terrible. Still terrible. And especially terrible because I was the duck and Morange was the wabbit, and he is significantly more fit than I am. So he would shoot me and then sprint away, and I'm like, I'll find him later, it'll be fine. So we played that. We played a tag as well, which is also another game which is horrific. Yeah.
Tag in its
Also a bad
current,
game.
Tag in its current form is much better than when they originally released it.
How did they have it originally?
So in the original version, and kids, we're going back to when the software was still on DOS with this release.
Than's hairline went right across the front here. Back in those days.
Than still had hair, yes. So Tag, when it was released, there was only one person it. Now there's like one for every 6 or 7 or something. And there was no minimum score, which honestly, the fact that there's a minimum score, I think is dumb, but whatever. It's a software setting. You can change that if you want.
Lousy millennials and their participation trophies.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Pretty much.
You'll take your negative 50,000 score and like it.
It's no Queensland Music Award, that's for damn sure.
For sure.
For sure.
But yeah, because you could only have one person for no matter how many people were playing. I mean, the very first time that we played it in Sacramento was at a lock-in, and it was actually a point where we had like almost all 30 suits working. I think we actually had like 28 or 29 of them working. Yep. And the person who got it was like a brand new player who didn't know how to missile, and they just got swarmed in a corner. And so like this is my nightmare.
It was like a feeding frenzy.
Staff member was trying to like get to them so they could like missile somebody and get them away. So in its original form, it was not good. I mean, it's not great now. It is barely passably mediocre the way that it's set up now, but at least it's a little better having the multiple its.
Yeah, that's
So.
kind of cool, and it doesn't allow you to be re-tagged if you've just gotten rid of the tag, or if you've just gotten not it, which is kind of cool. Although that never seemed to be the case for me. I don't know why. Laser Force has a wide range of games, and this one is certainly at the lower end of the list. But you know, they're worth playing once. If you've never played them, they're worth playing once.
And
I'll
honestly,
endorse that statement.
a 7.5 minute game of tag in like the back part of an overnight event that's a good place for it.
Yeah.
When everybody is so when everybody's starting to hit that punch drunk stage, there is something very fucking amusing about hearing all the dose coming over the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that tag has no redeeming qualities, because it does. Like, that is its redeeming quality. It is a 5 o'clock in the morning on an overnight 7.5 minute game, and it's great. Wabbit Season has no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Look, it's better than what I remember it being, because my early memories of both of these games were not good. I remember we played tag way back when we had a guy named Chicken that used to play, and he just stood in the middle of our green base doing this whilst everyone just shot him, and the does were going. So at the time, nobody took it.
That's the other thing. In the original, there was no timeout for being it.
Yeah.
Now there's a
timeout. Yeah.
That was the other change that was made that made the game more unplayable.
Yeah, well, because like if you had someone that wasn't that, you know, was just like, I'm just gonna stay it, and you can shoot me as much as you want. You're just like, well, there's no point to this game. So, you're right there, bro.
Trying to cultivate the mohawk more.
That's God. Pretty good. Yeah, but like as a whole, the night was really fun. It was all very casual laser tag, which was a nice change. It's a nice change of pace when you know, if you haven't played in a while and you come back and you just play some social games. We also set up. I have this like crazy tripod that I bought. It's got like gorilla grip, so you could kind of have it grab onto whatever. And there was some like some tubing that went across one area of the arena, and I was like, oh, I'll see if it'll like stay up there, and it did, and it gave us an angle that we don't normally get to see in the maze otherwise, which was really cool. It's not one that's conducive to how we play Space Marines, because that'd show a lot of people running into an area and running into our green disco area, which isn't that interesting. But because with social games, a lot of play happens in and around the green base. It was actually, you know, it was more action than what's normally seen on the Laser Force live stream. So if you want to, the VOD's still up. If anyone wants to go and check out, like, if anyone wants to go check out how the camera looks. But yeah, it makes me very excited for the possibilities now that like I had this tripod, because we could play around a little more with some areas, which is cool. Nice. Yes. Speaking of Laser Force, because you know this technically is a Laser Force podcast.
It is. Hang on.
Hey, we just had like 10 minutes of laser tag content right
there.
That's
hang
true.
On. I thought this podcast was all about me. I thought this podcast was fan story time, and everything else was just kind of superfluous to, you know, that.
You would think that.
It could be two things.
What it actually is it's a chance for me to look at myself on a screen for an hour and a half, whilst you guys ramble about random shit like feelings and laser force or something. No. Yeah. So obviously, with this upcoming, I'm loath to call it fake Nats. We we were gonna have a bit of a yarn about like some more speculation, because without actual things, I watched a lot of like the Pat McAfee show, Pat McAfee ex NFL kicker punter,
Mhm.
and it's like off season at the moment, and they're just like we have a daily show and we have to fill it with like nothing. This is kind of how I feel about what's happening at the moment. Although we do have some upcoming events, so it makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
But part of that means that we get to speculate on a few things. What did you have in mind, DK?
Well, just over the last week, I kind of reached out to some of the site organizers or regular tournament attendees, I guess I should say, about what numbers are looking like from their various sites. And it looks like we're at least kind of getting close to a full team from most of the major sites that are involved. Thunder seems pretty confident they'll probably have like at least 4 or 5 people,
Cool.
which may include Caleb, aka Slaughtermelon, since I think he either is about to or has officially moved there at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if
wow.
that's a temporary thing or if that's going to be a longer term thing, because Snuffles, who I imagine is also going to go, he went out to Texas for the summer, because I asked him about if we were going to come down again, maybe play some tag. He's like, just FYI, I'm moving to Texas for the summer, so I can't organize any member nights for you. I said, okay, good to know. But I guess it's just for the summer, and from what I understand, he's still planning to go to the tournament. So if it's the people who I think are likely to attend, I think that would put them at least having Thunder, quite possibly Tandor, Slaughtermelon, and Snuffles, which just
Wow.
those 4 is a pretty damn good team.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Solid.
Wow,
So I
Caleb-
wouldn't be surprised if like Ace ends up going. I don't know. Inferno has told me before that he may not travel to future tournaments, but I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Lots of people retire all the time.
Looking right at you, Rusty. Right in
This
your
is-
general direction.
This is why you never say that you're retiring, because it never takes. Whereas if you don't say anything and you just stop showing up, it's like,
You
But then
fade
can
into
make it
obscurity.
you fade into obscurity, and then you come back and it's like, what? I never said I was done. What the fuck do you
Looking
want?
right at you, Dazza. Right at you. Then you can come back. Alright? There's the key words there. Anyway, continue.
Our California contingent looks like we're probably going to have at least a full 6, if not more, since we have at least 7 potentials, not including Mr. Than, who is asked to be included, since he was once upon a time from California before he fucked off in New Zealand, and then he fucked off to Texas. And yet he still wants to be considered as a Californian. What a poser.
What a
This
poser.
is where we're going with this right now. Okay.
Oh yeah, if I couldn't berate you on air, then what's the point?
Yeah.
But other people who I think, if not confirmed or at least pretty likely to go, would be Soy Boy, Kodama, Odin's Fist, Applesauce, Dylan, aka Yi, aka Yes. I don't even remember what his name is at this point. And Disco Monkey is still heavily considering it, because much like other people, he says, I don't think I can go to this one, and then usually magically ends up showing up anyway. So that would be 7, potentially 8 with Than going. So that would be definitely more than one potential team of people going from California. So I think we can fill out our California team and maybe then some. Loveland, depending on if we are still considering Caleb a Loveland player, I've heard that he's planning to go. I think Luke and Goldfish and maybe Sergeant Tucker, I can't remember if they're the ones who are thinking about going. But in any case, I'd love to see some Loveland people come out, whether they end up putting together a full team or whether they end up joining forces with somebody else. Like if it's going to be a St. George / Loveland team, that would be cool too.
that's that would actually make sense at that point. Just kind of do a mountain region thing.
Well, California is doing it. We could do a mountain region one also.
That would definitely be one of those things where I wouldn't have any sort of problem with that whatsoever. So
Yeah.
it would just make sense. So
Yeah, especially if the numbers line up the way that they might. Detroit, from what I heard, is I originally kind of thought maybe they'd bring out 2 teams as they oftentimes do, and interest could still build over time. But from what I understand right now, I think there are about 6 who are rumored or possibly confirmed. From when I last talked to both to Wolfman and to Scythe, that it sounds like Wolfman, Micro, Shayla, Disco Stew, and then I think Ivy and GMAT were also mentioned as coming out. Scythe mentioned them, but I don't remember if Wolfman had them confirmed or not. So that would be at least 6, and it's a pretty decent team right there. Scythe says he's probably not going to make this one, but again, we'll see what happens closer to the date.
he says
Since
that.
he, of course, is famous for saying he's not going to show up and then usually ends up coming anyway.
Yeah, they're like requesting us to do a special announcement about it.
So we'll see. That could still be in the cards. But that'd be cool. I'd love to see some more people from Detroit come out, since it's a lot more local to them than it is for us here out west. And then I think Syracuse is still going to have 2+ teams. I know Bean's idea is still to have 2 teams where they kind of split their best players into 2 different squads and then bring in some other people as well.
That's such a good thing for the game to do it that way, and not necessarily for, like, you may not consider it for Nats, but for a tournament like this, or an event like this, it's pretty cool. It's makes for a more interesting competition potentially, unless like a full strength Detroit team gets sent and they just come and like dominate everyone or whatever.
Yeah,
I suppose
and we ended up with like 6 teams, which I think I rattled off about 6 there, and we kind of throw in a miscellaneous 6th team there. That could actually be really good for a 3-day tournament, because I think that would allow us kind of maximum flexibility in terms of maybe playing a couple of rounds and still having a full finals. It's just making the leap from 6 to 7 teams. All of a sudden, you end up with a lot more games that you have to get through, and it becomes
problematic.
Not impossible, but much more unlikely that you can get through more than one round of actual round play. So 6 would be a good number, but if we have more, I'm not going to complain, because, hey, I want to see people. It's been a long time since we've had any kind of formal laser tag event, so the more the merrier. If we end up with 7+ teams, that'd be great as well.
Yeah, 6 from a scheduling standpoint would be genuinely ideal.
Yeah, because then you could play ref sit and you could have everybody go on break at the same time, rather than do the thing where one team has a bye and it's like, oh, we should go get food now. Oh, but this person can't go because they have to sub and we need an extra ref. Oh, wait, we're supposed to get food? Well, we waited an hour, then we didn't go, and now we're going to be back in. We'll just give us 30 minutes. We'll go get food. Yeah, that's happened a couple of times. So yeah, if we had 6 teams and we had everybody play ref sit, and then, okay, good, middle of the day, hour and a half, 2-hour break for lunch, then we'll all come back at the same time.
It also means that you're not playing until like crazy late at night as well, which means it gives you more option to do other activities with,
And I think we're gonna try not to do that anyway.
Play
just
or...
in the not to play to crazy hours, even if that means maybe playing a few less games. That's partly why we also have the 2-day event afterward for people who, if you really need to get in a bunch of laser tag, you can also play a side event. If you're coming to see your friends, hang out with people, play some games, for sure we're going to do that. We're still going to play a lot of laser tag, but I do want to leave some time for, hey, if people want to go out and just get some food or get some drinks and just hang out and do all that kind of stuff. I think that's also important, and especially in recent years, like some of my best memories from tournaments are when we just have maybe like an extra side event. We can go do something like go to that pub down the street from Brisbane at the 2018 Nats. Like that was a really good day.
That was awesome.
Maybe put us a little bit behind schedule because it took a little bit longer to feed 70 people or however many of us. went down there. But
Funny
it
how
was
that
like
works.
much needed and a really good, enjoyable thing. So
Yeah.
For the most part, those are the things that I remember. Like I remember some key moments like from the actual gameplay elements of Laser Force tournaments, but for the most
Oh, yeah,
part,
for sure.
like the big memories are, oh yeah, we stood around at a holiday park in Ballarat and kicked a ball around in like freezing temperatures, or we all went out to the movies as a crew and saw
I say we take off and
something.
nuke the entire
Star
site
Wars,
from orbit.
perhaps. Cheers. No, that's the wrong one, but who cares?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, or same holiday park. Oh, hey, that there was a pool and a hot tub. Lots of people ended up in that hot tub. Me especially with my fucking knee. So it was like, yeah, that's things I remember. The huge tit at the holiday
the
park.
big boob.
Yeah, in Ballarat, the Yappy got the bloody nose on because
Steve got too drunk and stole a welcome mat from a supermarket, and then decided to use it as a blanket. All that sort of fun stuff, Borderline homeless vagrant behavior.
Borderline?
But yeah,
Are you sure you're going to
borderline.
be allowed back into Victoria from whatever you just booked your trip, Steve? Maybe you don't want to confess too many crimes before you go back
yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Already can't go back to America. Yeah. So it's that's. I do, I really do. Yeah, it's that stuff that's like, that's where the a bulk of the enjoyment comes from. You get a lot of enjoyment playing Force in the moment, but the memories come from all the other stuff. Watching
The real
Ace.
memories were the friendships they made along the way.
That's right. Watching Ace bust tables at a pub, like spontaneously, was fucking funny. It was so good. Yeah. So yeah.
That's how you have to make ends meet to pay for your trip to laser tag sometimes, is you end up busting some tables on a random Wednesday night.
I mean, I'm still hanging out with you guys, but also,
Bust
can I
tables.
can I get you a
Yeah.
drink?
So yeah, like that, going to the pub in 2018 for Brisbane, going to that weird dive bar, whatever that was in Detroit the next year in 2019. Those were
Midweek.
really good times. Yeah, the midweek
The
one.
midweek one, yeah.
That night was epic. That was great.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
Except
I had to have Disco drive home because I was not in a fit state to drive.
I think I had been in hospital the night before, so I was not in the mood for drinking, unfortunately, but it was still cool.
Probably.
When that next happens, make sure you loudly announce that you're an influencer. I will. I tell people like at the supermarket, and they're
Well,
not even.
I wasn't planning to drink either because it was midweek, Steve. But things happen.
Things do
Suddenly,
happen.
people start buying you fireball shots, and all hell breaks loose.
They sure do. And, with the service levels there were outstanding.
Especially the pickup crew.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I mean that sounds like it's going to be a decent turnout. Especially like, I don't know what the feeling is like over there, but certainly over here the feeling has been we're nearing the end of this pandemic.
That's definitely, well, I mean, for Americans, they were ready for that about like 4 weeks in. They're just like, we're done with this now, right? Like, we're cool. But I mean, there are encouraging sites. I guess that is one thing worth mentioning, since it did come up, that I put in the disclaimers that, we're still going to follow public health guidelines for New York State because that's still being held in business. Sanchez is the business administrator. We're certainly not going to get him in trouble. So we're going to follow the guidelines. But New York State had announced that basically when their vaccination rates reach 70%, they're just going to get rid of the mask mandate. So that may end up being a moot point anyway.
Right.
And in most places other than Michigan, get your act together, Michigan, like hospitalization rates have gone way down. They're at like an all-time low.
Cool.
In California. California is basically planning to fully reopen, whatever that means, by like June 15th. I don't know if that means the mask mandate's going to come down, but I'm sure that will happen probably by fall or something like that. I don't know. It'll just be weird to see if it's like that becomes kind of a fixture during cold and flu season, since everybody was saying, yeah, we had like a record low number of flu cases last year because everybody was wearing masks and not coughing on one another. Who knew?
Yeah.
So who knows?
I will say that the mask during the winter so that your face isn't freezing, like
It's not the worst thing.
That admittedly may be something that I keep doing because I kind of liked my face not freezing when it was real fucking cold outside. I don't know.
Yes. And if that was like normal and people didn't think you were like robbing a bank just because you went outside wearing a mask, then hey, that'd be fine.
I mean, all you got to do then is just pack on 30 pounds, and then you'll be warm all winter. It's the perfect crime.
I have dropped 30 pounds plus since winter. I do not want to put it back on.
The old crackhead mentality. I see.
Or as Steve called it, being a quitter.
Yeah. Stop trying to lose weight. How dare you quit your body? The more of me, the better. That's not how I feel sometimes, especially on skates. Yeah.
So be careful on the skates and don't go to hospital. Other than that, we love you just how you are, Steve.
That's right. Although for my first meal of the day was a plate of like carrot and celery and cucumber with some roast chicken. You lost a bunch of pounds. I thought we called that a Brexit. Classic.
Well
So,
played.
I mean, there are times when I do miss the smaller tournaments because as the tournament scene has gotten bigger with, the scenes kind of mixing, it has taken away from some of the midweek activities, or the ability to have midweek activities. That, and I'm not in my 20s anymore, and I can't spend all night drinking and then like get 3 hours of sleep and get up and go play Laser Force.
Yeah, that's a little bit less fun than it used to be.
It's so brutal, dude. Like I think I've said it before on the pod, but like Sacramento in 2017.
17.
Yeah, that one was a tough one.
We had Virus on our team, and he got real frustrated halfway through the week because he was like, I thought we were gonna spend the whole week like drinking and partying together. This is bullshit. And I was like, bro, I'd join you, but I can't. Like it's so hard. Let's do edibles instead.
Yeah, because I think we had 8 teams that year.
Something like that.
Yeah, but it was also
if I had to do it over again, I probably would have just opted for fewer games, a shorter finals, and a less compact schedule. But
probably an earlier start time. Probably an earlier start time as well.
Yeah, well, the thinking originally was let's let people sleep in and not have everybody get up at the crack of dawn. But you're kind of screwed either way on that one. But at the time, I recall the sentiment being like, we want to get in as many games as possible, and it's just once it rises to a certain number of players, a certain number of teams, getting as many games as possible is just very, very difficult.
So Al, I reckon like with that tournament, Steve-O versus Hoodlum, I would definitely win unless I also had a medic on my team, in which case like I would definitely lose. Or if I was a medic. Yeah, I would just envision like Hoodie being like, okay, Steve-O's the medic, and then he would dominate me. Aren't you both the medic? Probably, yeah.
I mean, doesn't Hoodie dominate you anyway?
Yes, he does, but we don't need to bring that up. In my world, right? It goes Steve, Wayno, and then Pets. Okay, that's the order in which it goes. The rest is near in a circle. Neither of us are running anywhere. Absolutely, I'm going to sit on the floor. Oh, you're not allowed to do that. That's against the rules.
No sitting.
But yeah, so I mean, bigger tournaments, cool because you get more playtime. But yeah, the social aspect is always sacrificed. Have you guys decided if you're going to? We'll get to that in a minute, Stallion. If you guys are going to like stay on longer, or like are you gonna stay over there longer, DK? Or?
I mean, I know for me, and I know you addressed that to DK, and fuck it, I'm just taking the question anyway.
Let's go for it. It's fine.
Well, I didn't know if you were confirmed yet or not.
I'm not. So
that's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely leaning more towards going than not. I have a feeling that by the end of July, especially just kind of with when the timing of that tournament is, I think I mentioned like last week, or maybe it was in whatever, that the week of that tournament is literally right after my quarterly IT planning for the next quarter. So I feel like getting away for a week, like right after that happens, is not the worst thing ever.
Might be good,
yeah, it might be a good deed, might be a good de-stress. And also probably by that time be like, maybe I want to see people, maybe, we'll see how that goes. But I think for myself, if I do it, I would be there for the 3-day, main event, and then honestly, I'd probably end up just kind of like road tripping around for a little bit and just do some other stuff, because I know I definitely have a people threshold, and I feel like 3 days is about where my people threshold say 4 days because of practice day and whatnot, but that 3 to 4 day range, at about that point, I think I'm done with y'all. So
Fair.
go
Popular
and
opinion.
Yeah,
popular opinion. Do some do some road tripping around. I may go back to Niagara Falls just for the hell of it, because been there once, it was awesome. Go again, take some more pictures.
I'd kind of like to hit that this trip.
Yeah,
they have a force there as well, I hear, in Niagara. So if
I think it's
had
on
enough people.
I think it's on the Canadian side. I don't know if it's in Niagara proper or if it's like a little ways from there. I'll double check with Beans. And I don't know what the situation will be by July with like border crossings and stuff like that. If that's going to be also still a nightmare.
Right.
But
because
if not,
right now,
and we could road trip up there for a day and go play some laser tag, I could cross another country off my list to start working to that achievement again.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do on our trip in 2019, was hit that site up specifically so I could cross another country off, but I think we got there later than we thought, and it just didn't work out. There was a lot of sites I wanted to visit, and it just didn't work out. What are you gonna do?
Next time.
Maybe don't get sick next time.
Yeah. What I would like to do is, as a crew, like, go to a bunch of sites and do like stream like either the road trip, or like do a bunch of streams where like you have a walk through the arena and stuff. I think that could be kind of cool, but yeah. Maybe that's a discussion we have later. Be like, then get a strap on camera and
whoa.
and then show us what you're up to.
Whoa, hey now.
I don't know why there must have been a lag, some sort of lag spike right there. But yeah, was there anything else you want to talk about that trip?
Well, I mean, DK didn't answer, how long.
Yeah, because then just yanked the question right out from under me.
The rug.
I don't know. Yeah, kind of same, except I definitely am planning to play the 2-day event, because I would like some more lasers.
Yeah. After
the 3-day event, but I would also like to maybe go do something like see Niagara Falls, just hang out a bit. I will hopefully get my timing better than the last time I went to Syracuse, because in 2011, that was the whole odyssey, because one, I had to wait. I couldn't leave until Saturday before the tournament, basically, because it was like the end of the summer school class that I was teaching. And back then, I definitely had to teach summer school if I wanted to pay for my laser tag trip. Wasn't rolling in, tens of dollars like I am now.
You got that Doge money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got that Dogecoin money. So I had to take a red eye over Saturday night to make it to Syracuse the next day. But then, of course, because it was United, I got stuck at Chicago O'Hare Airport for another like 5 or 6 hours, something terrible like that. It
Been
made
there.
me just despise O'Hare Airport like none other. I will never go back there if I can possibly help it. Like I'm gonna double talk to the travel agent this time around because I'm trying to use my United credit again because that's who I was supposed to fly to New Zealand with to get to Syracuse. I'll be like, yeah, can I get a layover in like Denver or something? Please don't give me Chicago. I don't want to get stuck there again because this seems like a great thing to do where you guys just have a hub where planes have to fly in and out at a place that gets, random ass thunderstorms and huge heat in the middle of the day and your planes can't even fucking take off. Sure, let's cram an airport right there, idiots.
I mean, to be fair, Denver's the same fucking way, bro. I mean, Denver is not a fantastic hub either.
Yeah, have a tornado.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the other hub, I think Minneapolis St. Paul is also a hub, but I don't think any flights from Sacramento go directly to that hub. I think you have.
I don't know. When I used to fly to Detroit from Portland, I felt like Minneapolis was the major stopover they used to take, which I don't hate that airport. It's actually kind of a nice airport.
Nice.
We'll see what happens. I mean, beggars can only be choosers to so much because I'm going to have to use that United credit one way or another. So we'll see what adventures I have on whatever layover I have to take this time around. But hopefully it won't be I have to take a red eye and then get there Sunday morning and then basically immediately go practice because I think you and Stalker were waiting for me at the airport for like an extra hour or something because it also
Doing
took
the
us forever to fucking taxi and deplane and all that shit. You're like, DK, where are you? We're supposed to go practice. I'm like, I'm on the tarmac, bro. I'm trying to get off the plane.
Yeah.
When Air New Zealand announced that they were like, hey, we're now flying direct to Chicago, initially I was like, that's really cool. Now getting to like the East Coast is actually going to be semi-viable until I did it and it experienced one of those random thunderstorms that you mentioned earlier, and it was horrifying because then instead of going to where I was supposed to go, I went to Toledo, which is in the middle of buffuck nowhere. Yeah. They were like, we have no more flights left to where was I supposed to? Cleveland. They're like, can't go to Cleveland. There's no more flights out today, but we have a flight that goes to Toledo. If you want to go there. And I was like, right on, send me there. Will my bags come with? And they were like, maybe. We'll see. Maybe.
Whatever. Toledo's like South Detroit, basically. It's like
Toledo.
Right
yeah. Yeah, well, it was close enough for me to catch a $100 Uber from Toledo to Cedar Point. So,
yep,
yay.
I remember that.
Right on. Well, I mean, so when do you head home? Like, are you there until...
I will
the
probably
Monday,
go
Tuesday?
home. I would guess either the Sunday or Monday after the tournament, depending on when I want to try to book whatever side trip that I have. I have a couple other trips that I'm trying to get scheduled over the summer, though, as I alluded to earlier, and so I may not make like all of the June, July, August shows. I'm going to try to travel as much as possible because, as much as I have loved being home and working from home, and it's drastically improved my quality of life, I have also just missed traveling for fun. I haven't missed commuting to work, but I do want to go do some other travel and stuff like that. So depending on when I need to get those dates lined up, I don't know if that's going to overlap with how long I'm going to be in Syracuse, because Syracuse, lovely city, but I'm probably only going to spend so much
hang
time
on,
there.
pause. It's not a lovely city. That city's a fucking shithole, bro. The only reason that any of us are bothering to go to Syracuse is because there's a fucking laser force there. If there was no laser force in Syracuse, none of us would fucking go to Syracuse. No.
We barely, I barely went to Syracuse on the last time I went to Syracuse. We were there for like...
Well, I was trying to be diplomatic, but the rest of y'all just went full, this merch is terrible on me.
Look, I'm a sucker for... I'm a sucker for anything New York, so, still counts. Ish. Yeah, right on. So, to answer your question from earlier, Stallion, nothing yet has been discussed in any great length about a Australasian Laser Force event. I did mention to a couple of people. Some people were keen, others were still very apprehensive about traveling, during a pandemic, because technically there is still a pandemic, even though we are probably more cautious than other places around the world, but still have like a healthy level of worry. Except for this guy who went and immediately booked like two international flights.
You get stir crazy at some point, man.
Well, so I miss my family, like
Yeah.
both my related family and my Laser Force family. We're talking about October, but then Steve decided he's coming to Australia then instead. Yeah, so I'll be in Melbourne in October. I'll be in Brisbane in July. So I'm gonna play, hopefully, when I'm in both of those cities.
Just bookend it. Whenever Steve gets on the plane in Melbourne to go back to Auckland, the
Everyone
rest of you
else
guys
leaves.
get on the plane with him and then just go.
Oh, that.
Problem solved.
Yeah, that perfect sense.
The problem with that is that these four walls are playing a tour at the end of October, and I know a lot of people want to stick around in their local cities to actually go to those shows. So,
Yeah.
it's a shame the timing didn't work out better, because I would have stayed over a little while longer, and
Gone and seen them.
absolutely, like, fucking
I mean,
jealous.
I'm actually super fucking jealous too. 'Cause, after watching the stream that Sin put on his channel for their last show, I'm like, I mean, I already knew they were fucking fantastic, and then it's like, oh, yes, this is a band that I want to go see live.
Yeah.
This is goddamn fantastic. So hopefully when I make it down to that side of the world next year, because that's my current plan, is to make a trip to at least New Zealand next year. Hopefully they'll be playing some shows somewhere, and I can manage to make that happen.
Well,
because
so
that would be...
if things open up and things go according to plan, like we end up hosting Nats next year in Auckland, the boys were taught, there would be musings about the boys wanting to go on tour next year if the borders open up, and coming home and doing a New Zealand tour. And if the timing works out well, hopefully we can look at doing that at the the end of the Lasers week. Like if they play an Auckland show the week of Nationals,
Shut up and take my money.
that's immediately 60 people. Like, I'd expect door sales or door tickets. Great, 60 of my closest friends would like to be on the door. Thank you.
No. I do not want to be on the door. I want to pay them.
I will pay them all my money.
I will definitely pay for my ticket, because after the because Chris is going to bring it down. Serious note. Like after the last year of there being like no live music, and then shows are just starting to happen again. It's like, hey, this is one of the ways that we help support our music is door sales. And every time every time we add somebody to the guest list, like that's less money that we then have to reinvest back into the music to do more stuff. And I say this not being on anywhere near the same level as Gray and the rest of the boys. These
Award-winning band, These Four Walls.
yeah. That's just not but it's a thing. Like no matter what level you're at, people buying the tickets and people buying your merch and people buying your music, like that lets you continue to do the thing that you love to do. And so the 60 people on the guest list, no, No,
No.
nobody on the
Fuck
guest
it with
list.
you.
Everybody
Fuck
buying.
it with you.
Everybody buying. I know. No. I know, but it's like everybody just pay your $20 or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
the ticket price is, and let's pack whatever fucking venue that they're at, and let's just fucking do this.
It would be such an awesome
It'd be
way to
amazing.
end the week. Like if so, I don't know if it would work out. Like go from awards dinner straight into a gig, but if you, I don't know if I had the stamina to get on the Terps 2 nights in a row either. I can only assume that was DK's stomach telling him it's time for dinner. That's what that sound was. Soft. Yeah, maybe. I tend to not like to get drunk at gigs, because I enjoy watching the band and then remembering the experience. But we did a little bit of drinking when These Four Walls played during, it was one of the Brisbane Nats, and we took a small crew. I think it was 2014 even. There was a small crew of us that went and watched them play in the Valley, and that was real cool. This is what you're saying is 2 late nights in a row isn't good for you. That's exactly what I'm saying, Al. So yeah, if for next year, that is something that I would love to see happen, and if we can make it happen, I'll do everything in my power to make that happen. But obviously, there's a bunch of stuff that comes into
there's a whole bunch of moving parts.
Yeah, but I do think that in contrast to like how I felt 6 months ago, where it was like, Nats 2021 is definitely not happening in New Zealand. I feel like it's much more likely than not that we will be able to travel to New Zealand next year. Because obviously you guys did a really good job of containing COVID initially, and the US is actually not doing a terrible job on vaccination against COVID. They didn't do too well in containing it originally, but doing good on vaccinations now. So hopefully those things will line up and we'll be able to travel normally, and airfare won't be super insane.
We'll see. Hopefully when the flights open up, because we've noticed it here, like traveling to Australia hasn't been ridiculous. It's kind of just gone back to how it used to be. In fact, I think like one of the airlines here, Jetstar, was doing you just pay for one way and we'll give you a return flight or something. Word on the grapevine was, which
Not bad.
Which is real good. I wouldn't fly with that particular airline because they're shit, but but
you may not be the only person who thinks that, hence why they are offering return flights for free.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get what you pay for, which all goes back to our thing about the door fees. If you like a thing, you kind of have to pay for it sometimes.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, we'll talk. I gotta probably talk more to the other shady members of the Australasian Tournament Committee about whether or not their player base wants to actually travel here or not. And if people do want to travel, then we're happy to host. If they want to wait until next year, which again makes a lot of sense, then we'll just do that. But I would love to do an Australasian random draw, or some sort of social Space Marines tournament where we could play and just kind of gather and
do a thing.
Yeah, do a thing. Right. Was there anything else that you guys would like to touch on today?
No, we did good. We shot the shit for 90 minutes.
That's how we roll.
Go us.
That's how we roll. That's why everyone should go out and buy themselves a snazzy Resupply backpack, now available on the merch !merchant chat. Thank you very much. That should be a thing now, I think. Does someone want to test that?
Best indestructible coffee mug.
Yes. Yeah. See, you can run over it with the car. How much? Yeah. Look. On that horrific note, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been DK.
And I've been Van.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you during the week on one of our other shows, or next week back here on the Resupply. Peace.
Laters.
Fuck, I hope the music works this week. We're about to find out, though.
I've been throwing